Hello and welcome, everyone. This is Market Analysis for October 15th, 2024. Thank you so much to all of you for joining. We're going to be going over, you can see already, first things first, that the markets have pulled back this morning. Can you hear me? Everything's good?
Did you share?
No, not quite yet. Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, you can't see that then. There we are. So yeah, you can take a quick glance at the watch list here. A lot of red numbers. So there's been some pullback already today, but yesterday was a very, very good day for the markets. Oh, my screen is a little bit disheveled. Yeah, let's try that. There, that's better. All right, so starting off with silver. Silver is actually on the up at the moment, but it had a nice deep, deep reach right here on October 8th.
It sounds like there's paper in the background, shuffling.
Paper in the background. Paper shuffling in the background.
Well, it's whenever you talk.
Well, maybe let's see my mic settings.
Oh.
Built-in microphone.
I'm just
Weird. Is it still doing that?
Very slightly when you talk.
Okay, I'm just gonna try reloading my my browser here and see if that clears it up.
Okay. Very fuzzy camera. I need to.
Now, how is that? Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
Nothing in the background.
Okay. All right, cool.
Good.
All right. So here we are. We've got silver that had that retracement there last week. It has definitely rallied from there, but it seems to be retesting this pivot zone right here. This is normal. Fine. This, because of this low here, didn't beat out the previous low. We had this high at the on what day was that? That was October 4th. Yeah, 4th, last Friday. Two Fridays ago already, and this retracement here was a nice healthy dip. So accumulated here, and that's why we're rallying again. I do expect this to kind of hover around for a few more days. We do have the full moon coming into effect, and I know some people think, oh, that doesn't mean anything, except there's actually trading strategies that are built around the moon cycles. And typically speaking, it's not all the time, but it is good to watch because you can see points of reversal many times or large movements that occur as the moon phases shift. And so we're headed into here pretty soon. We've got, the 15 days are up there, and then we're at 14. Yeah, so we got 3 more days, and the full moon will be in effect. So I think that when that occurs, we're going to see a nice movement, possibly even heading up to our next target at the 33, almost $34 level. I'll take the moon off now because I like to bring it up every once in a while, just so people can be aware that those reversals can happen. Next, gold. Yeah, it's been having a difficult time getting back over top and making a new high since September 26th. But we also are aware of the fact that the printing is only increasing, and so as the printing increases, that is what's allowing people to believe that the S&P 500, which creates new highs, like it did yesterday, and the Dow Jones, which again yesterday made another new high, so that these can make it look like the markets are good. Gold, it's a manipulated price. It's not reflective of its true value because of how much they're suppressing they're suppressing that price with their paper contracts. So when I see this, this is going down while the printing is going up. That tells me that they're just building more and more momentum towards that crash. And when it does go, it's gonna go wild. So watching for new highs again. Likely once the once the full moon is in full effect, we'll probably see a nice big jump. Could go the other way too, but we're coming up to the end of those days, and the price pattern definitely shows that we're going to be going up. So S&P 500 created new highs yesterday. We'll mark this right there. And so we just keep on climbing. We are getting close to the target that I had set for this at the 5920 level. We are not, I can move some of these lines. These are just the pivot zones. This one here is actually now adjusted as well. So we may still make another retracement in here, and maybe that's what will happen. During this moon cycle, we'll have a little bit of a retracement, and then move on more. But again, we're in the final days here. This system cannot keep going the way that it is. And the only reason that it is because people continue to have faith in this currency. But as more and more disclosure comes out, especially about the genocide that is occurring in the Middle East, and then the connection that has to international banking, I think that we're going to see the wagon wheels fall off this wreck as it's being thrown down the hill. S&P 500. It's just inflation. So here we have, there's the US 30 behaving basically the same way. Nice, another big rally here, forming new highs. In fact, 3 days in a row, new highs. And so, again, I would expect a retracement to at least come back into this range here, because that was where that previous high was. Typically speaking, whenever a high gets made like this, actually, I'll bring it over a little bit here. Whenever a high like this gets made, and then it retraces, and then it extends up above, like right here. Typically speaking, that price is going to rebounce and retest that line before it gets another impulse to go up. So if you're looking at going up still, you may wish to dollar cost average your way into this. But I mean, this is a ticking time bomb. And so if I were to be playing inside these markets, I would be just stacking up the shorts and watching it like a hawk for when that happens, so that I can close that trade and collect. But it's a big risk. You got to have a big broker with big pockets to be able to help you with that. Japanese markets definitely now pushing up above this pivot zone that it was having a difficult time with before. So this is interesting. Hopefully, when this happens, people are going to be okay. This is I will be surprised if the Japanese markets do make it back up to this high that they made back in September. It's not. Or not September. This was July. That was July. That's right. Yeah, no, September is when we had this little dip. That's right. So this high from July, I would be surprised if we reach it. Based on what I'm seeing here, there's just so much resistance. This is all just struggling. The fact that these days are looking like this, up, down, down. It sounds like this looks like it's Arnold Schwarzenegger at the gym or something like that. And so I just don't know. Like we've got, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that this is even happening. But yeah, I'd like to share a little bit more. Maybe we can do that later today. Share some articles that I've been reading about these markets and how they're interplaying right now, strategizing basically for this next takeover. But here, let's get into the more exciting things. Oh my goodness! So NPC is doing really well still. The dips are for buying, folks. This one here is looks like it's got good support from this pivot zone here and has reached a new level. If that's the case, then we are likely right now simply retesting this high here. So I'll zoom out a little bit so we can see, and I can even point at it. Yep. So this high here is now created a line that in this position, the price point now is using as support. Now it may dip further back down and even retest. It may even retest this this pivot zone, this purple pivot zone that I have here. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I would say right now that this is a beautiful zone to dollar cost average your way back into here around the 2.5 cent mark. Right now at 3.3 cents. That would be a nice little sale for those that want to get into it. Been sharing on my Telegram channel some screenshots as well, just to give people those updates. But starting in June is when I started accumulating this, and oh, sorry, this one is the beginning of July. And at the beginning of July, it right away within a 20 days, I had doubled the investment, and then or the asset, and then it dipped down and has been it was like whiplashing around back and forth for a while, but it found that support finally on September 19th. Now I added to this trade back down here simply because I wanted to dollar cost average and it was on sale again. And so I brought in some more assets here, and my target is right now this area. We're almost there. And when I reach it, I will be selling half of all of it and taking that and putting it elsewhere. Meanwhile, I'll just ride this until it comes back down to this level. So if it, it will rise up, it'll come back, it'll hit my target, and then I'll sell half, and then I'll wait and reevaluate if it retests this line. Why does the strategy tester keep opening up? If it comes back into this zone, I'll definitely buy some more. But I'm looking forward to cashing out on this one because that'll be a nice. Yeah, the first one is 174%, and the second one's 223%. So I'll effectively double all my money on these two trades. On to Sundog. This one has that nice deep retracement, and I've accumulated some more in the process. My position on September 24th definitely has tons of drawdown, but it's not even in the slightest concerning. With a 34% drop, what I did here was I added to my position so that when it comes back to that spot where I bought, it'll be a 50% rise. So that second position that I took right here, I can't really reach it. Let's go like this. So yeah, this is the first position that I took here. This is the second one. And this second position is already in profit. And when it reaches where I entered, I will have profited 50%, I think, off of this one. Let's just see. Yeah, 50, 60% or so. And then onwards to my target at the 60-cent level. And I'll be watching this one closely because it is a meme, and memes can be quite volatile. So On to Woo. This is the social trading platform. Great day yesterday with a 12% rise in price from the open to the close. And we are definitely, we've definitely retested this pivot zone, that 16-cent level, very, very well. 3 solid touch points with a high that beat out the previous high over here. And so now we are definitely looking for the extension. I would say that the next target would likely be, the next target after that is likely going to be this level at 25 cents. Let me just see here. 1, 2, 3. This will be 4. So yeah, around 25 cents is the next target where I'll be evaluating. I won't take profit there, but I'll definitely be watching for another opportunity of a dip and possibly sell off a portion of what I have, just a portion, maybe 10%, 20%, and re-enter when it comes down and retests this line. So again, whenever we have these movements, they bounce back and forth between these lines that I draw and these horizontal lines. And so when it jumps up and hits that 25 cent mark, the likelihood of it dipping down and coming back to this line here, that one is at 21, is pretty good. Well, between 21 and 25, that right there is a 17% difference. So if I take some of the money that I make from this point here, just a little bit, and I sell it, and I take it and I re-enter here, then that little portion will actually make me that money back again and then some. Because here, you know, when I sell it and I come back in with the amount that I made, I will be able, like that 20% will purchase 14% more than it did when it was at 25. So that strategy allows me to maximize these movements as much as possible, where I'm taking a portion of my profits, selling them so that I can re-enter and appreciate that price action and the gains from that price action later on. So that's my trade plan for Woo. ARK, very similar. Brand, a nice high here. It's got another dip back into a yeah, actually this zone here is more like this, just because you can see these. Yeah, you can see how there's been a lot of action around this level at the 24-cent level. So yes, we are nice big retracement and showing support off of the 20-cent level. And right now my trades are my first trade is in the negative on ARK. I'm down 24%, but the second trade that I took along with on the day after that you and I had met on the 12th of October, I added to my position. Dollar cost brought the average cost of this asset down by adding to my position here. And since that time, I have profited 6.45%. So that's what, in the last 4 days? Yep. And looking forward to that next impulse that will take me up to probably that 45-cent mark. I do expect there to be another little bounce off of that 37 mark, maybe just a little bit of a retracement before it heads up there. But yeah, looking forward to seeing these. This one here, I likely that strategy of selling high and then buying low with a little bit of the portion of the profits. Probably not going to do that until I get closer up to the 5.86 cent level. That's when I would be evaluating this trade for that. And of course, the all-time high being the big goal at 589% growth from that last trade that I took. As BitTensor, this is the big infrastructure project to power computing for AI for big tech. And it is definitely holding its own at this support level around that $560 point. Right now at 617 with, yeah, that's beautiful. So 617 right now, and even really just testing this level, like this high level here. You can see that it's been really pressing up above it a few times. Now it keeps dipping back in, like here it did, right? And it's dipping again. But the fact that the bulls are winning so much here is an indication that we've got nice support. And so this price will likely hit this 750 level, which I think is, yeah, that's the all-time high is actually 789. So I'm going to move that one up because that's really the target. So once it reaches here, that's going to be an indication for me to watch for that retracement. I think that we will see it reach, but then also retest this zone one more time, only because it's the all-time high. And so, yeah, so I'm going to wait to see, I'm going to wait for this one to show me that retracement. But it's not bad. It wouldn't be bad to make that trade now even. I'm just over right now. I'm pretty leveraged, so I'm good. Injective token. Oh yeah, another great. So that yesterday was that great day with a 7% growth, and right now it is showing strength, rising above this this pivot zone here, finding support at $21. It seems. Certainly found support off of 19, which is basically at the middle of this zone. And I do expect there to be another little retest before we get a leg up over top of the $24 level. Now, I've got two positions in this as well. Injective token, since, yeah, that's mid-June, is down 24%. The second trade that I initiated on the 7th of September, for those of you that were there with me, you may remember that day, that one is up 32%. So I'm not in a bad position at all, having my dollar cost average somewhere around this, 17, 18 cent range. And so definitely in profit right now. And I expect that, especially going into the Christmas season, I do expect, just because of how many projects are retail driven and coming into effect, like they're coming into utility phase. So this is very encouraging, and I believe that over the next 2-3 months, we'll see this price reach that target at $53, and we'll get to appreciate that 222%. That's a good number, 222% growth. I will at that point consider, that's where I will consider selling and then buying again on the retracement. My final target price is that $76, $75, $76 psychological level. Yeah, it says 76 here. I'm thinking it'll be 75 where that psychological level will be. Yeah, it's just the way that Fibonacci landed. It's saying 76. Okay, that's Injective token. Desync, decentralized storage. It is, my expectation is that it's going to continue to consolidate within this pennant. We can see that it just bounced off of that support at 14 cents, 15 cents, and is headed up towards that part, just like it did last time, and likely will have another retracement before we shoot out. And when we do, again, typically speaking, whenever we see this kind of a price pattern where it narrows in on one place, it is the opening of the pendant that gives us an indication of how far we'll go, and that's 2,800 pips on this on TradingView here. So 2,800 from the middle, after this is all said and done, if we go 2,500 from here, or 2,800, that is up to the 47 cent level. If it goes down, that's quite a ways. I'd be surprised if it goes, yeah, and it's even, that would bring it to prices lower than it even opened. So I don't think that's going to happen. If it does dip down, it's not out of the ordinary to hit one or maybe two pivot points before taking off. So we could have what's called a fake out. It's not a breakout. It's called a fake out, where it does break out in the opposite direction and it fakes people out. And then it, of course, ends up going in the direction that you want it to go. That happens lots whenever this occurs. So be mindful of that when we watch this energy build up as it comes to a singular point.
That would be a good time to buy.
Oh, especially if it dips back down into 15-cent range, like this pivot point here. This is really a very crucial zone, because the majority of the long-term traders, the holders, the founders, developers, those guys, that's where their money is. And so, yeah, if it comes back down, it's on sale. It's like the universe is like, hey, you want this on sale? Let me bring it to you. All right, 0 by 0 private AI project, moving along quite nicely after this high formed on September 23rd. It did a nice, beautiful retracement. This one here, you added to it. I've actually marked your trade so that we can track it. And you definitely are up right now, 14% from the place.
I didn't buy 0 by 0.
No?
No.
I thought you did. Okay, well, no. I'll have to find out which ones you did and mark them. I marked this one like you did.
No, not me.
Okay, well, I know I did, so I'll look that trade up. But let's take this out so that I don't forget. Okay, so yes, I've got two trades, one from June, and then I added to my bag significantly on September 7th, because I just knew. I mean, I was looking at this. Look at how this became support for this massive movement here. And then since then, consolidating. The team was busy building, restructuring, making sure that everything's set up. They're coming into utility phase here in the coming weeks. And so this point here, I was just like, I got to buy some more. And that just looked too sweet for me to miss, to let go. And sure enough, since that time, I'm up 40% on that trade. So right now, even though this one is down 30%, the second one is up. And this one here is more than paying for the losses that I experienced there. But I mean, this trade's not done, obviously. Like, I'm not closing this one until I reach that. I'm not going to even evaluate until we go above this all-time high and I see a retracement back to the 53-cent level. That's when I would consider putting some more in, because I do see this going to $1. Yeah, easily, as in by the end of the year. So yeah, that one's set up very, very nice.
Is that one gonna go low again before it starts booming up?
I don't think so. I think it's spent enough time within this consolidation zone. Right now would be a good time. I mean, you're still way down from where I bought at 22 cents, right? And so right now at 15 cents, if it goes to $1, well, let's just quickly see. Right, like if someone were to get some right now and it goes to $1, that's 562%. I don't think anybody should be upset about that. What's the saying? It's better than a kick in the face with the frozen muckluck.
Okay.
But yeah, basically all of these things that I am analyzing, especially within the crypto sphere, the dips are for buying. They are there for us to maximize our profits. 3 protocol. This one here, to me, look at this. I'm going to move this here out of the way because it's really in the way when the price is like this. Okay, look at this. Take a look at this, and then let's go back to 0 by 0. Look at how 0 by 0 came back to retest these low ranges, right? And now we're headed up. Well, 3 protocol is literally right behind. It had a nice big high here, came back down, and has retested this low price range. This is gonna go crazy. When it goes off, I fully expect it to shoot past the 45-cent mark simply because of the innovation that this technology is offering. Going to 45 from here is a 455% rise. So you'd 4x, almost 5x your money, just if it goes to the high. But that's where I would come back in to take the next ride to $1. And what I would do at this point is that I would probably likely wait until it goes to an extension. So we'll be watching and we'll be able to kind of gauge where are these extensions going to be located. Once the price action gets up here, I'll have a clearer idea. And I will set a target price, likely, likely 70, 65, somewhere in there. And that's when I'll be watching for the retracement to come back and test this. Well, when it does that, I'm definitely going to sell a large portion of what I'm holding right now, because when I do that and I come back in now, especially if I can come back in around 50 cents, now all of this profit that I make, 455% from here, 455%. When I sell up at that 65-cent level, I'll sell a large portion and I'll come back in when it retests this. Why? Because now that 455%, oh no, that's if it reaches the all-time high. Let's go play this out. To my target, if I make my target 65 cents, again, I'll have clear idea of what that target's going to be once the price is up here, because I'll have other price patterns to watch, to evaluate. But if my target's 65 cents, right now, that's a 678% rise. So if I sell and then I come back in when the price dips down to the previous high, because that will provide, that will likely be retested. After we make this extension, it will likely retest this level at the 46 to 45 level, or 46 to 50 level. I will sell the majority of this. That will be a 670% growth. And then I'll re-enter here. And now that 678 will purchase 23% more than what I had before. And then that 570% is going to double when I go to $1. So this is where the money's made. This is where the smart money gets the job done. They are maximizing these movements as much as possible, knowing that we're selling high and buying low. But don't follow the news. You can follow announcements that companies are making and stuff like that, but don't follow the mainstream news. What you're following is the price action. The price always tells you the truth. It never lies. So the market is always right, is another saying. Link AI. I haven't purchased this one, but I'm thinking I might squeeze some more out of something else. Maybe I might take. Maybe I'll take some NPC. I don't know. We'll see. But this one here, it's a really good position to buy right now. It has been retesting this pivot range for quite some time. I anticipate that when this one takes off, it'll also be going to $1, and that beyond that, we're going to look back at $1 and think that was a good price. So anywhere between here and $1 is a good time to buy. Dips are for buying. This M pattern here is very, very encouraging to see as it bounces off of this gradual bullish trend line. And the fact that we bounced off of that healthfully and are now holding our own above the support at 13 cents tells me that this is ready to start making its way up to the all-time high. And right now, between here and there, it would be double. So between here and where the all-time high, you can double your balance on that one. DEAI formed that. Look at that. Yesterday it was already at an all-time high when we did market analysis, and throughout the day it formed its own. It formed another little bit of a retracement today. No, nothing to be worried about. If it does dip down and comes in back into this here for 01 labs, I will be accumulating. This movement here would give me that confirmation. Okay, yeah, these guys are serious. What happens sometimes if this just gets too obscene, where the price action just skyrockets and then whiplashes back, it's not bad, but it's that volatility can be concerning, because what happens with projects like that, especially if you don't have a strong leadership, a lot of developers will be like, oh, I don't have to work here anymore. Right? Because they just made a whole bunch of money. So I like to see these gradual movements. And if we can get a retracement that even tells me that this team is even more conservative and here for the long term. And so if it retraces back into this purple zone here, I'll definitely be accumulating and double this one. You know, if I get something, you know, that gives me a 3 or 4x somewhere else, I'll take that and put it into here at that point, you know, especially if it comes back into this range. FAR. This is on Polygon. This is a video gaming project. Yeah, I'm excited for this. And as you can tell, I've set my target healthily. Right now we sit at 0.8 cents. So 0.8 of a cent right now per coin. Basically 0.9 cents with the 0.888. Oh, that's just, you know what? You should probably take that as a sign. Look at that. So this price action right now is sitting at 0.0888. That's Providence. Maybe I'll buy some more. No. I got lots in here. I've got lots in here. And the growth that I expect for my first target is 23%. 2,300%. So with a 23x on this, just coming back to its all-time high, this one I'm definitely the most excited for. As far as big gains, making big bags of money. All right, TRX, Tron. I've been following this just because of how beautiful this chart looks for such a long time. And even when it made this high here, it didn't retrace back. It didn't retrace back to that line. It simply just retested this zone here, and it's showing great promise heading up, continuing its same angle basically as it was before. In fact, if I take this, you can see that average price basically is being followed right now. You know, you can see as this price moved up, it had a lot of time to think. Had a lot of time to think as it went up, and it did a lot of its thinking. Oh my goodness. It's got a lot of time thinking through this line right there. So at that point is where we're at right now. If it comes back down into that 14-cent range, that'd definitely be a good time to buy. Even right now is not bad. Tron, you know, people are saying this is going to come back to its glory days as well, where we see this type of growth that we saw in 2020. You know, where in just this movement here, in 168 days, it went and 6x'd itself. I believe that we're going to see that same type of growth here go parabolic in the next few months. XRP holding its own in this channel. Not really much to talk about here, but isn't it interesting that that channel just seems to be providing the support there at the 50-cent level and is now coming into this pivot range. We might see another test before we head back up. But you know, even if it doesn't, if you're in this and you wanted to take advantage of this, you might even do some intra-day trading, which means now you're going to be looking at the 15-minute chart, and you'll be evaluating the price action off of this. You know, the fact that we have this nice big dip here coming up over the last day or so, you know, this is indicative of an opportunity where on the where you may want to buy now and sell at the top of this range, and then come back in when it bounces off of this lower channel, the lower section of this channel again. You know, and if we are going to see a breakout where this takes off, oh, the sunrise is just beautiful today. Amazing. If it comes back up here, and we rather, if it does break out of this pattern, I would expect it to head up here and retest this zone here. I'm going to actually write that down so we can just mark it. So I think that, you know, it's going to do this kind of thing, hit this and retest this zone before it breaks out. That's my anticipation, simply because this asset here especially is, this asset here especially is going to be used primarily in the next monetary system. That's already being used and integrated with the next monetary system. And so I expect this to behave similar to how other Forex assets have behaved in the past. And so, yes, coming up here, it'll find resistance at the top of the channel and retest this zone before it breaks out on the bull rally, the bull rally that we are expecting here this next few months. Polygon, this is a, you know, I talked a little bit more about it yesterday, but on Telegram. But this is a major infrastructure coin for gaming, and the video gamers they are going to be leading the way in freedom, since the, you know, people that like to honk their horns don't complete their jobs. They get shy when the horses come and trample them underfoot, and they don't tear down uniformed terrorists from their posts and overtake their government. And so because they don't do that, those kinds of things, we're going to have to watch the gamers lead the way. Isn't that crazy? And Polygon is going to be a major coin that drives that movement. And I've got a nice position here. I got this at the same time that I got FAR, actually. And the growth here right now, price is at 37 cents. 37 cents. Oh, I keep on clicking the pencil. At 37 cents, you know, when we reach this all-time high of $2, and well, that's basically $3, it's going to be a 686% growth. And when it does that, I do expect a retracement. I'm going to be doing the same strategy, selling a large portion off at this point so that I can increase my position as it comes down. I would expect it to retrace 30-40%, coming back to this level here. Oh, I don't have it drawn. So let's move this here. That would be where, right there, I expect. So after it reaches the all-time high, I would expect this to be retested. So I'm going to sell a large portion off and come back in at that price point, 30-40% lower, so that these gains, you know, these gains of 670, 680%, I can then increase the position of this holdings by 30-40% for the next run. Now my 679% becomes 1,300%. ADA. This one here, I am almost trading daily right now, simply because I like to keep my bags nice and thick. And so I'm like, oh, I need, you know, I'm going to need $200 this weekend. So then I pull $200 out every week. I'm pulling stuff out. But daily, I'm going back and forth, being like, oh yeah, we're coming up now. We're going down now. Oh, we're coming up now. Because I'm watching this chart. This is the 15-minute chart. So this gives me a lot more detail. But whenever I see stuff like this, oh, that's a nice big dip. We had this rally here. There's a nice big dip. Now's the time to buy. And then when it gets up to here, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to sell. And so I'm watching this very, very closely. And paying myself accordingly to maximize the amount that I have in holdings. So I choose my paydays when the price is up here. And then whenever I have left over, I'm rebuying. Or like if I literally keep my Canadian balance under $500 all the time. All the time. I do not hold more than $500 Canadian ever. I haven't done that for like a year because we're here and it's awesome. So next, yeah, we can see my little orange squiggle here is already being followed quite well. I do expect this point to be reached before we retrace, possibly test back our way into the 35-cent level. Yeah, that's what I expect. We're now broken out of this yellow. I'm going to take that out. We're following this channel. Yeah, this is just a great chart. That is just a great chart. Yep. Ethereum. Testing the top of this wedge right now. We'll see what happens where it closes. If we can get up to here, I would definitely be doing a quick sell because that retracement back into this area here would definitely be there. And, you know, I mean, nature of cryptos, that there is just a 6%, which again, in cryptos, that's a lot. In Forex, or rather, that's not much in cryptos. In Forex, this isn't much. This is astronomical. Cryptos, it's nothing. 6%. You know, cryptos can move 30%, 40% in one day, easily. So a 6%, people are like, "Oh, what are you doing that for?" Well, because this is incredible. In Forex, 6% would shut the whole country down. So these types of movements are nice. When the price hits this, you know, 2,800 psychological level, I do expect a retracement coming back down. I squiggled that here, maybe a little bit out too far, but this squiggle, this could happen right away. Hits up here, it'll come back and retest this zone before it heads out. And yeah, I know people think I'm crazy, especially the diehard fans of Ethereum and Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin yesterday, people are just all excited because you had this great big nice this day of, you know, this was a 5% growth yesterday, and people were excited because it was going up. And I'm like, yeah, but we're still inside the channel, folks. I'd be selling right now. I'd be selling right now so that I could come back in off of the bounce, right? This level here is likely where it would bounce next, simply because that's been a place of that's been a pivot point for quite some time. So yeah, I'd be selling right now and rebuying here if I wanted to scalp some of this growth, right? You know, that's another 6%. And then when it comes back up, you know, take another 6, 7, 10% when it goes back up. Easy. People are excited, but the chart does not tell me that we've broken out. The chart does not tell me that we're going to break out of this pattern. Watch the chart. Markets are always right. And people's projection of what's going to happen in the future based off of, you know, what they'll do is that they'll be sitting there. I'll see them analyzing the charts on Twitter and stuff like that. They will literally go like this. Wow, look at this movement. This is perfect. Look, we brought a breakout. It's like, no, you're on a 15-minute chart. Yes, you broke out of this. But this here, whenever this happens, look at what happens when that happens. Whenever there's a big movement, right here. Okay, big movement, comes back. Big movement, like look at this. This was a 15-minute movement here, and it moved, you know, 1.13%. Came right back. So, you know, look at this. These ones here. Went up, came back down. Went down, came back up. Big movement up, came right back. went up, came down. Oh, but don't worry, it came back. You know, like this goes up and down all the time. So, you know, these people are analyzing the chart and saying, look at this great big movement. It's like, yep, sell. Now it's going to go down here. And they get upset at me whenever I make those comments because they are emotionally trading. Look at this. Look at this pattern. This is what the market is telling us. People on X saying we had a breakout today on the 15-minute chart. That doesn't tell me what's happening in the market. This does. So I got really noisy lines. I'm sorry. I gotta clean this up. I did a few charts there yesterday, but I want to clean this up so it's not so noisy. We can see that price action a lot more clearly, but it's not going anywhere yet. I mean, yeah, maybe it is, but it's not telling us that yet. ADA against Ethereum definitely dipped down because of this recent rally from Ethereum. So it's dipped down. It's not moving up at the same speed. That's typical. That happens lots. So we're retesting this level right now. You know, we might even go down a little bit more. It does seem to me that Ethereum has movements that come before some of the other coins of the other ecosystems, and so it's yeah, we might be hovering down here for a bit before we come back into this channel. At the same time, who knows? We'll see. That's it for market analysis for October 15th. Thank you so much for everybody that's joined. And yeah, questions, comments, queries, anything on your mind? No. Awesome.
No, other than I have a friend that she wanted to do some trading. She doesn't have the time, but I'm pretty sure I can do some stuff for her.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, help out your friends. Definitely. This knowledge here, I mean, I've been giving people these trade ideas, you know, privately since 2017. And, you know, even in 2011 is when I was going around telling people, you got to buy gold. And of course, it was not the time yet, but I was preparing for this day for a long time, and helping people out with this is very gratifying. You know, I take a look at the people that came in and bought gold right before COVID. They're up 45%. They're very, very happy. And that's without hyperinflation. We're just experiencing the beginning stages, right? So yeah, definitely when you have the opportunity to help other people, take it. It's exciting. And you can't really go wrong. Like, honestly, I'm talking about 600%, 700%, 2300%, like with FAR. But to be honest, even if you double your money in the next year, like you're going to be ahead of the game. Mm-hmm. And that's not going to be difficult to do. This industry is set up where people who have absolutely no prior experience can actually make some good cash if they're patient, consistent, and yeah, tune into my channel, follow me on X or YouTube, and be a part of this and interact, because this interaction here that we're having is exactly how we collectively conduct this heist, and we profit from this wealth transfer of the fourth industrial revolution. Awesome. Well, I feel so much better now. Thanks, everybody. Ending the stream.